Hello, welcome to the Craig JK channel. For you that don't know, I am Craig's editor, Juran, which he keeps somewhere in his basement doing all his videos while he gets to run off riding Beastie. Sad, I know, I want to go with. But I'm stuck here. Anyway, back to the point. If you like this kind of content, please leave a comment down below, so that we can engage if we can do more of this coming up. The reason why we're doing this is for three reasons. One, this is to say thank you to all of you that have been supporting Craig throughout his entire journey, from the launch of his channel up until the end of ProjectBeastie and everything coming into the future. This is also a start of something that we want to do once a month that includes a lot of things that are coming up in the future. Some special events that are coming up in the future that Craig wants to show off with you guys. Everything related to cars and Beastie and future things related to cars. I want to be part of it. Please rescue me. Get me out of here. I want to go. I want to see Cars 2. Video, let's go. The other reason is that we want to use this as part of informing you of some big events that are about to take place. Some planning is happening for some future events on the Craig JK channel that would be one of the biggest things coming up in South Africa. However, even though we want to share this once a month with you, we would like you to understand that the planning phase for something this big is going to take quite a while to get it up and running, and we need a place to inform you more effectively. So yes, absolutely check out the Facebook. All information for the upcoming events will be launched on Facebook, but we want to share everything that is happening as the information comes through this kind of style of content. Not just that, we also want to open up this kind of platform for a podcast. And once again, with everything happening right now, we are just not able to do a podcast once a week. We will probably do it once a month. However, from my side, I would like to thank everybody that has been part of this journey. It was an amazing time for me working here on the videos and seeing the reaction of so many of you as well. So from my end, enjoy the video.
You know what? Quite often I sit down and I go through all the footage that I record, and especially not just clips of what I've recorded, but also like the final product. When we've uploaded the video for YouTube, I watch my videos I'm normally one of the first people to watch my videos. Obviously life gets in the way sometimes, and sometimes, you know, you got to do your personal things as well, like when you have to help all your friends get home safely because they're all hammered out of their minds. So didn't get the chance to watch my video first, but when I do, I have such a laugh. I can sit there and I can hose myself at myself.
Yeah, but I mean, that's also like what they call a sense of humor. You don't really have a sense of humor if you can't laugh at yourself, right?
Fair enough.
At the end of the day, like you're going from vlog, and now suddenly you're in a podcast, and that's something completely different and unknown to you, because you just got used about getting to that vlog. Because when you started off, it was like, I don't really like social media, and then you ended up doing the vlog thing.
Yeah, but even before I got the Instagram really going, I went and bought the camera already.
Yeah.
I was so when I commit, eh? There's when I commit.
Yeah. So you went from not liking social media to content creator in a span of what? A couple of weeks, days.
I was doing Instagram for a short while. I finally got back on Facebook when I went through to China. So that created my Facebook account. That was 2018, 2017, 2018. That was 2018, yeah. Yeah, I went to China end of 2017. And that's when I opened up a Facebook account, in 2017.
So then it's like the entire thing about social media darkness.
I just never liked it at all. I didn't like people meddling in my fun, and also like I was so full of myself. Like I'm too busy trying to have fun. I don't want to be whipping my phone out half the time and then taking pictures and stuff like that. Like if you want to have fun, like be here with me having fun. Let's live it together, you know. Well, those were crazy years, eh? Those are crazy years. I'm glad I had those years. It's taught me a lot. It's taught me so much. But they were mental, and I'm glad that they are. I'm glad they're in the past.
But I mean, you really take care of Beastie, and yes, you mentioned that when you got her, she was already in amazing conditions, but you just hit over 760,000 kilometers, and she's still looking good. She's still driving well.
Oh yeah. Oh
She's
wow.
still managing everything like it's a brand new car.
Shockingly, like I was from day one, I've known how much power she's like. I've always been impressed by the amount of power she's got. Right, rear wheel drive. That arse goes sideways, and you're cruising. And I mean, especially when you put foot, she moves. She really moves. I didn't always know she had 700k on. I honestly I didn't. From how she always looked and how she was always presented, how the previous owner always had Beastie in the sort of condition he had her in, you wouldn't think that the car was any over maybe 60,000 Ks. No joke. And but that never bothered me at all. Because I've been in I've actually only been in Beastie once. No, twice prior to me owning her. Twice, only ever twice. I didn't. I don't know what it was about the E36 328i. I was never a big fan of the dolphin shapes. I always liked the old box shapes. I like the 318s, the 389s, the E30s. Oh wow, I used to freak out. I used to freak out over them. And the dolphin shapes, I was always a little on off about. I couldn't ever really decide whether I liked them or disliked them, so it was more on the fence of. And Beastie was just that exception. I have no clue why. It's the weirdest thing. And then for 12 years of cracking jokes with the original owner and just being like, "Jeez, please, China." Every time I saw him in his own office, please take note, this is the CEO of a company. I'd barge into that office and I'd be like, "I want my fucking car keys." And he'd sit there and he'd hoses himself. And he'd turn and say, "Listen, Craig, I'm sorry, I don't have it today. It's at the valet. I told you I'm getting it all clean for you." And it was always that kind of banter for 12 years long. You know, it was always a good joke, inside joke between him and I. And a lot of personal things started happening in his life, and some changes needed to take place. And he needed a place to park Beastie. And I was like, "No, you don't park her. No, I said, "You know what? I had just moved. I had just come back from Zim. I had just moved into my apartment in Kyalami. It was a cottage on a plot. And I was completely without work back then, right? But I'd moved in because I got some help from some family overseas. We'll go into detail about that later. It's a long story, but long story short, I got some help and managed to get an apartment. 15th of Jan, I started jobbing at a IT company, And it was the 13th, 14th, I think it was between the 13th and 14th of Feb. I was told, listen, come pick up Beastie. Come pick up the car. And I was like, you do understand, like, she's not gonna park there by me. Like, I'm not putting her in the garage and just leaving her be. There's no chance. If she's by me, you must understand that you're not getting it back. And he understood that from day one.
And that's how you bought Beastie.
Yeah.
Wow.
12 years of convincing later, banter and a lot of threats about I want my car, kind of are, but it was all in good fun. And he had gotten quite a few offers on the car, and he had turned them all down. And at the end of the day, I'm sitting with Beastie.
Yeah, like, be careful what you're saying, because it might become reality, eh?
Exactly, speak positively. So always speak positively. I mean, if there's one thing I've learned through everything, I mean, and there's so much that's gone on recently. I mean, you should know. I mean, I've told you quite a bit of it, and not everyone else does know. But there's so much has gone on. So much has gone on. The moment I started changing my train of thought, how I all accept information, how I react to information. Obviously, like, I'm only human, so I'm going to get emotional. I'm going to respond or react in a way that might not be acceptable to everyone all the time. But for the most part, I learned from those instances. Wow, why is that such a difficult word to say right now? Anyway, I learned from them all. And I started realizing, instead of overreacting about something that you can't control, you never had any control of, why not just focus on what you can do now? Forget about the past, in the sense of, like, you can't change the past. You can't change 5 minutes from now. You can't predict. No, you can't change 5 minutes. Yeah, from 5 minutes that's passed to 5 minutes that's coming. You can't predict and you can't change. What you can do is control your reaction, your train of thought, and what you do now. It's all you really have control over.
You can remember stuff from the past, but not let the past control you.
Yeah.
You can plan for the future, but things change. You don't have a fixed plan always, because there's always something that can come into your plans in the future, because the only thing you do really have control of is the now and here.
Yeah. Essentially, because I mean, if you think you cannot predict 5 minutes from now, you can plan 5 minutes from now, but what if you get a phone call and it's an emergency at work? Your plan for 5 minutes now is now out through the window. Now you're rushing to get into your car and go to the office. There goes your whole day's plan, and this all happened in a 5 minute time span. You know what I mean? So, I look positively into what I'd like to do and where I'd like to go and how I respond and react and so forth. And I try to do so in a very calm and positive manner. Some people get so annoyed with me most of the time. And there's obviously times where I'm a human being and I'm also feeling a little stressed, overwhelmed, and I don't respond quite positively. But give me 10 minutes and I'm back to my positive self, and I'm already going, oh, that was ridiculous. I should have just focused on this and not on that. You know what I mean? So positivity is the most important thing, but also it's self-acceptance. So
you got her, and then you immediately start planning for the trip to Cape Town.
No.
Well, how did that happen?
So I got Beastie, and like I got it. Oh, got it that good. So let's rewind a little bit, right? Picked up Beastie, and on the way home, nervous as ever. I don't know what to expect. I'm scared to really drive Beastie the way she's actually used to being driven. So I drove flat out like a granny. I was going 80 to 100 k's an hour on the highway, and that does not ever happen. Ever. I used to have a GTL 5 Renault. Old. I was clapping 140, flashing people in the fast lane to get out of my way. And something smaller than a Mini.
And sometimes when that crosswind comes in, and it's like,
oh, the last thing you want is a semi. You do not want a semi to come past you. Oh, wow. That car would bounce on the highway. It would bounce on the road. You would literally be lifted and you would move left or right or whichever side that truck comes past, you go the opposite direction at least by half a meter. It was the most sketchy car I had ever had, but it was such a ball of fun because no one expected her to be driven as hard as she was driven. So, but with Beastie was just different, hey. I've always had a phenomenal amount of respect for that car. Always. But I mean, it's why I've always been after that car. I mean, it's always been jokes, but that's always been the dream, isn't it? I mean, we joke essentially about something that we are annoyed about or something that we like, something that we want to receive, and something that we're excited about, right? So getting Beastie, that was big for me. That was a big moment for me. I was over the moon.
And then the planning from there to go actually do the trip to Cape Town?
That only started end of October last year. Everything happened from the end of October last year when I was retrenched. I was told, listen, Craig, unfortunately, I had just moved. I just moved from Kyalami to Centurion, 2.5 k's away from my work. And I got the unfortunate news that I was being cut because couldn't afford to keep me anymore, right? Companies going through some harsh times, as almost all companies with the COVID-19 hitting South Africa and the world, you know. I mean, it's damaged and hurt a lot of businesses. So first month I moved to Centurion is the same month I'm getting retrenched. And I was like, okay, right. So I started praying about it and I said, yo. Said to the big man upstairs, what now? What do I do? I want to build something for myself, but also build something for my future. Something I can be proud of, something I can actually enjoy doing. I've always loved IT, but I've never felt like that was my place. It was never home. It never didn't feel like I was achieving or gaining or going anywhere. It just felt like I was doing the same thing every single day. I was fighting the same battle every single day. I was miserable almost every single day. I had to try and pick myself up every single day. And yes, everyday life we do that, but this was just not in just a personal way, but just in a working environment. It's like, yo, to work today.
Yeah, and I mean that affects also the working conditions that you're working with, because you're working with people. So
I love that.
Into it.
I loved working with people. I mean, going out to clients, that was the best moments of my day. I love my clients. Always, you get to speak to so many different people with different opinions, different views, different ideas, different dreams, and different experiences. So you get to share all of that and listen to all of those stories and that. And I love it. I love it because that's eventually kind of, you get ideas and you get inspiration from hearing other people's achievements or struggles and how they manage to stand where they are. So October I sat down and I said, right, since I got Beastie, I've always wanted to do a coastal trip. How can I do this though, but do something meaningful at the same time? So I said to myself, right, what is the first thing that I feel that is meaningful and that needs to be done? I want to do something with charity. A lot went wrong last year in the sense of it upset my life tremendously to where I finally discovered more about myself. I finally discovered how to be patient with myself, how to fight for myself, and how to value myself. And that was through chaos last year. So, no, not just, it was last year and the year before. It was just chaos. So beginning last year, those jokes with the first owner, I can't mention the name. Honestly, I can't. He works within government, so identity is you'd rather have it kept.
Yeah, and I mean, you mentioned that in one of your videos as well.
Yeah, and it's so sad because he's such a mentor to me. He is such a mentor to me. One of the reasons why I'm for the most part, you can ask any one of my friends that have known me for quite a while. I'm like a social butterfly, as they say. I love people. I love interacting with people. I love getting to know and having listening to stories, listening to their journey and where they came from and why they are where they are, because you learn from it all, don't you? You get inspiration from someone else's achievements in order to drive your own.
Yeah. So that's where like the thing comes in because you're already there. So going over to social media isn't really that big step because you still communicate with people over social media. It's just not as physical like we're having right now,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But it's still that communication going through, and now you have something to share on
Obviously,
social
massive. Oh
media.
yes. Look, oh, it's still something I'm getting used to. I'm still getting to the swing of things on social media. I don't update regularly on Instagram. I update too much in one day, or I don't know how it works or how it's meant to work, or it is what it is. I just do me as best as I can.
Mhm.
So, no, it's been such a learning curve. It honestly has, but it's been a fun one. It's been such a fun one.
So you got the car from the previous owner, right?
Mm.
And then suddenly you decided to go to Cape Town.
So I decided to go. No, I'd always said if should I ever get hold of Beastie or should I ever get in possession of Beastie, I would love to do a road trip one day. It doesn't matter if it was gonna be just 3 hours down the road or whether it was gonna be 2 days down the road. It was irrelevant. I just wanted a nice drive. So I started getting involved in more of the car scene and car community, and I was invited to a car club, so to speak, community, a group of friends that are passionate about their vehicles. They go on breakfast runs and rides and just have an absolute gas together. Fell in love with the community.
And I mean, there is a really big car community in South Africa.
Oh yeah, there are actually quite a few. There's a lot of, obviously you got your different groups and crews or clubs and so forth, but everyone's passionate about the same thing. We all love getting in a car, right? And if you're passionate about just taking a drive, going to see something beautiful, but enjoying that drive in something that you're also passionate about and that is motoring, then come on, let's go and take a 3 hour
So
drive.
where did the drive to Cape Town come in?
That came in That came in November, October, no, October. October, I was retrenched. And I had applied for so many jobs, couldn't get any of them, right? I was promised them all, but nothing ever came through. Everything
Yeah,
just
that
fell
was
through.
because of the COVID
Yeah,
things that happened.
and it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. So I took out. I said to myself, and I prayed about it. I took out a loan, and I said, with that loan, I'm gonna fix up the little quirky things on Beastie, and I'd like to do a charity run because I want to take Beastie down the entire east coast of SA. In fact, I wanted to take Beastie down the entire coast of SA, the whole from all the way St. Lucia all the way to Namibia. That was the original plan. Obviously, in between things change. Yeah, things happen.
Yeah, because now you don't have a job, you don't have a lot of money in your pocket to do something like this, and something like this does cost
Yeah,
a lot of money because you need to repair the car and all that kind of stuff needs to happen.
it was expensive. I lost. I'm not gonna say how much was a loss. I'll say it's a little hardcore out there. Um, it's taught me to verify companies that you work with and mechanic stores that you go to, just to make sure that where you're taking your vehicle is up to standard. So it's taught me how to be more cautious. It's how to ask the right questions and listen to the right answers. October, I decided, well, look, I'll take this loan. If I get this loan, I'm doing this trip. I applied 9 a.m. 10 in the morning. I got confirmation that the loan was approved. On a phone call, not an SMS. It was approved. I was like, what? Right.
Right.
I had known Retro House from having dealing with one of those mechanic shops, right? So I had taken my car to one of what happened to be one of those companies. I did fall a little short, but it was a good learning curve, and I made some amazing friends with that whole experience. Just absolutely weird. There was some seriously bad downs, but there was so many high ups, you know. Rob and Renata own Retro House in Centurion, and when I had first started formulating the plan to now do this whole journey, and I had known from the get-go, even prior to knowing whether I was going to be able to do it or not, I wanted to be able to do it in inspiration of kids and to inspire people that have dreams of their own but are afraid to chase those dreams, to show that positivity and a committed positive outlook in situations, and just a positive way of dealing with whatever comes your way can get you anywhere you want to go in life if you really, really want to. So I wanted to partner up with an NGO, and I wanted to try and bring attention and help to the education of kids, so they can also follow their dreams, so they can get to live what inspires them to want to be something so much greater than so many would expect, right?
And that's how you got connected to Jacaranda.
Yeah.
Children's home.
So I got connected to Jacaranda Children's Home. So now Retro House, we'll get to that in a second. This is going to be kind of a little bit all over the place.
No, but I mean, like, you meet Retro House, they jump in because that's fixing the car, right?
No, but it wasn't just about them fixing the car. Like, I guess I had spoken to Rob and Renata at Retro House about all of what I was sharing with you now, which obviously we'll fall back into. But let me finish up with where it all started, and that was Retro House. Yeah, when I started sharing all of these ideas and that through Retro House with Rob, Renata, and all the guys there, I said I honestly want to do this. I need to have certain things on my car sorted out. I had a little oil leak, and that I had a little gearbox leak. So I wanted those two things sorted out as urgently as possible. It just happened to be a rear main seal, and the oil leak, it just needed oil pan gasket. That was quite literally it. And then we just started discussing, right, I want to do a road trip. I wanted to do it with the idea to bring motivation to orphans and basically anyone that has a dream and needs the inspiration to follow it. I wanted to show myself that I could fight for my dreams to become a reality. And Robin and Renata, they welcomed the plan. Very inspiring gentlemen. They offered to jump on board and give me some really, really good help when it came to sorting Beastie out. That's brake lines, that is gearbox, that's clutch, that was brake pads. We did basically a full service front to back, and they checked and went over everything to make sure that Beastie is 100% alright. I then got in contact with Jacaranda Children's Home, and that's where the biggest part of it all for me really fell into place. That's where everything just sank in. This is insane. I can't wait. When I had discussions with Jacaranda's Children's Home, and I shared with them what kind of message I want to put across, and I'd like to have kind of just like a team up so that I can just promote their facilities and try and get more assistance towards the kids. They were so keen, and it wasn't even 24 hours and we were already talking plans. I mean, you were there, we were sitting down, we were drafting up so much, and everything just started growing. Then from Retro House, Rob, Renata, Luke, all of the guys at Retro House, to now Jacaranda's Children's Home, I'm sitting there, please take note, this is all happening in a matter of a week. Already 2 major things happened within 1 week, on top of now the loan being approved. I was like, what's going on? I mean, this ball's just rolling.
Yeah, and then later on, you got connected with Grid, and that happened, which is literally the first video that you posted on your channel.
That was that was so funny. Can we talk about that first video in a second? Let me introduce Grit though. Oh wow. Do you know I actually went to Vatswaye? It's a really old school automotive like collection store, and they buy and sell really old school collections. They also refurbish them from ground up if you want done. And I met Richard Gilson, that owns Grit, Grit Gilson and Son. They are a detailing company, so they do full like paint corrections and so forth. And we got talking. We just got talking. I literally went to go and see all the cars they had, and I wanted to do some recording. I'd already bought the camera, by the way, by this time. I mean, this all happened in that week. I'd spoken to Retro House. Jacaranda Children's Home jumped on board. I went and bought the camera to start vlogging the whole experience because, I mean, if I'm going to do this, I want to share it with everyone. Why not? This is the idea, isn't it? Is to share positivity and hope with everyone.
Yeah, because you're coming away from that darkness of not being really on social media into coming into social media.
Hey,
now all this happens in a week.
Diving into social media head first. I don't have really a social media footprint, and that I do have are old Twitter accounts I can never remember the password or the username for. It was so irrelevant to me that.
Don't we all have some of those?
Oh yeah, we've all got lost accounts. Come on, we all forget a password and an email address, or we lose it. But that's beside it. Social media just never really interested me, not much at all. But when all of this started happening, I just felt like I wanted to share it. I wanted to share it with everyone. I also wanted something that I could look back to say, you know what? I'm so glad this is what I learned, and this is what I got to experience, and this is who I got to inspire, and this is who got to inspire me. I mean, the whole purpose of it is also to learn. But you don't learn anything without a risk. You don't gain without risk. You don't progress at all in life without risk, without effort, without trying. And sometimes you've got to go in all. Gilson and Gilson and Son, Grit Gilson and Sons. When Richard and I started talking, I showed him. I went to have a look at a couple of cars, and then I started speaking to Richard, and we went and we stood in the parking lot, and I showed him Beastie, and we were talking about the mileage on Beastie, and we were talking about the condition and the paint and so forth. What would it need to get that paint to pop again, that sheen, that mirror, you know? Next thing I know, Richard Gilson wants to jump on board with doing a full detail on Beastie. This is now one thing after the next. Everything's progressing, everything's just moving forward. I've got barely chance to breathe. I'm still not I'm in between, I'm planning a route. I'm liaising with quite literally as many people as I can for advice on roads and where to travel, where not to travel, and so forth. And this is non-stop.
And these are people that are actually sharing your message. It's kind of people that want to make an impact with that same message going through. And now you go through all this happening within a week, and then you're suddenly starting planning the route within that week as well. Did you already know that you're going to Cape Town, or was the idea to go somewhere else first?
So with Beastie, like, I'd always imagined a road trip with getting this car. Like, that was hands down, like, that had to happen at some point. Was it gonna happen when it did? Now? That was never known for certain. So it having happened, that was absolutely phenomenal, and doing it with Beastie, yes. Cape Town is a big one for me. I love Cape Town. I'd always wanted to go to Cape Town. I'd only ever been there once, and I actually went there with Robbie, which the vlog knows Robbie. It's where I started the vlog off of, right at Robbie's house. So Robbie and I drove down to Cape Town for, was it 2019 New Year's? No, 2017.
Yeah, should probably
Yeah,
be
27
before,
years. So yeah,
yeah,
2017
before
is New Year's.
COVID hit, really, and those stuff.
Drove down to Cape Town for New Year's after I've known Robbie for about 2.5 weeks. We became absolutely phenomenal mates from the get-go. Drove down to Cape Town. I had the best New Year's of my life. I met so many amazing friends, and it's the friends I still have today. Oh wow, it was crazy.
But
So
you
Cape
also
Town,
mentioned that that you had a route plan, but it never ended up that you actually
yeah.
followed that route. So what happened there?
So the idea, look, I wanted to do as many kilometers on Beastie as possible. The idea was to get as many Ks down as possible. I wanted to leave, the initial plan was to leave from Centurion to shoot all the way through towards Dwala Caves, to go all the way up to God's Window, and then come down, it's a panorama route. Then shoot down towards, where was it? St. Lucia. From St. Lucia down Richards Bay, and then entire East Coast. Have at least New Year's in Cape Town was the priority for me. And this New Year's, I wasn't at a club, I wasn't partying up, I was actually just chilling with a really good friend. It was just being in Cape Town that I wanted to be in Cape Town. I can't explain it. It was the weirdest thing. So I followed what that feeling was. I wanted to go to Cape Town. So from Cape Town, I wanted to go all the way up the west coast to Namibia, and then from Namibia cut through towards Johannesburg. That was the original route. Due to unfortunate circumstances, not doing enough due diligence in where I take my car, and this was before obviously I met a retro house or new retro house. I take my car to 3 other places. I completely ran me down. I was a minus 30k. And there's no way of retrieving those funds, because where's the video footage to show that, hey, this was damaged and they replaced it, or they didn't replace you can't prove what they didn't do. I'm not a mechanic, so I can't. And after losing that, I started realizing there goes the West Coast. I'm not going to be able to do it. Which is really sad. But something's coming up. We'll get to that maybe.
He'll probably here at the end give us like a sneak peek, probably,
Maybe.
about stuff like that. Because I mean, this isn't the end. I mean, you're now in
Certainly
Bloemfontein.
not.
You're heading back to Johannesburg, but yes, it might be the end of this journey. But the end of this journey is also the start of a new journey.
Oh, can't be telling everyone these things, you know. Now you've given it away.
Oh, okay. So the sneak peek is there might be a new journey then.
There's a strong possibility. There's a strong possibility that there is going to be quite. If everyone that's followed the journey so far, from Pretoria all the way through to Pietermaritzburg, Durban, Amanzimtoti, Port Edward, all the way through to East London, PE, Jeffreys, down the Skama route, the Blowberg jump, facing fears. Oh wow, I faced one of my greatest fears heights. I jumped off twice. I bungee jumped twice. The highest bridge a person can bungee jump off. I mean, come on. That was insane. I want to go again. I have to go again. I want to do 3 jumps though. That'd be digressing.
So you started off, you got the dream car, then you had the dream journey, and there was no difficulties with the dream journey, but in the end of the day, you actually got to actually do it. What was the difficulties to actually get that first foot forward, or rather the first tire on the tar?
Oh, that is yo. you know, I guess just trusting in myself, and trusting and believing that I'm following the right path, believing in myself. Because let's be honest, there's so many people that do travel this route. There are so many travelers all around the world that travel solo to different countries all around the world. I'm not that. I'm a very loud and exuberant person. Yes, in the crowd I'm familiar with. Yes, not in a completely different space. Not all the time, no. So this whole trip had so much weight for me in my heart because it means so much, because of what I would like to be able to achieve and inspire by doing it all. It's not just for personal gain. It's to help others. I mean, if I can help one person, then this has all been worth it for me, regardless of the outcome.
Yeah, and to be clear for the viewers, right? Remember, guys, that he didn't start off with a whole crew of people behind him. Yes, there were people that helped him out along the way, like Retro House, Gilson, and he did it with the benefit of Jacaranda. But when he got into the car, he was alone. The journey was him alone in a BMW with over 700,000 kilometers.
We're sitting now at 761.3 thousand Ks.
I mean that alone on South African roads takes guts. I mean, especially from being from Johannesburg and stuff like that, getting in your car alone and then doing this entire journey basically alone in the car.
Look, it is very frightening. I'm not gonna lie. Like, a lot are gonna laugh it off. It's irrespective. Let me tell you something. You're driving a 1996 328i Dolphin shape with literally the full M3 kit from factory. It is a very sought after car. Come on, let's be honest about it, and everyone will tell you the same thing. They are sought after. Doing this whole trip alone, not knowing exactly how the roads are, you can try and do as much research as you want. You're getting different kinds of information from so many different people that nothing really adds up all that well. So the only way to find out is to find out for yourself, right? There's no real way to defend yourself when you're driving on the M2 and you're in completely rural areas. If anything's to go wrong, or if you to be attacked whilst driving at night, or whatever the case may be, then what do? You know, there's so many different factors. What if you blow a tire going up a mountain path? And there was so much stress to it. Not having company, especially in the vehicle whilst driving. Like, what did we do last night? Cape Town, Bloemfontein, with getting 3 hours sleep in 2 days, and still sitting. Yeah.
Well, how do you say? This is where the thing comes in that people need to realize. That's the lifestyle of a content creator these days, eh?
It is. It is by far the most difficult thing I've ever done, but it's by far been the most enjoyable and personally rewarding thing I've ever done in my life. I've gotten to meet and have conversations and learn from so many amazing people all the way down the coast of SA.
So you started off your journey. So you started off your journey with Jacaranda at Jacaranda's children home, and then you headed straight to KwaZulu-Natal. How was that first day getting into the car and knowing you're doing this trip now?
Can we just rewind? Let's start with that first day, actually. So I was busy sealing the headlights because I'd noticed some fog gets inside my headlights. All right. I had taken my headlights out because I needed to readjust them. They were shining way too high. I needed to seal them so no more fog or residue gets inside the lights. And lo and behold, we're already hitting like 1 a.m. Hopper's 1 in the morning. Of the morning I'm supposed to be departuring, by the way. My headlight, I put it on the table. I clearly just didn't put it on the table in a I don't know, stable format. It fell off the table. This is my right hand side headlight we're talking about. That fell off the table and the glass is shattered everywhere. I hop us 1 in the morning when I'm supposed to now be jumping to bed to wake up at 6 in the morning so I could be at Jacaranda by 7:30, making sure that everything's packed in the car. Now we've been attending to all the little things in the car that I've been needing to attend to. I'm busy packing, and there's been so much up and down with vinyl. There's another thing. Wrap My Brand. Let's not forget Wrap My Brand, please. I was looking for a company to do the vinyl on the car with everyone that's been that jumped on board to support this entire trip. To brand, it's CV Productions, you as well.
Yeah, we worked with the logo and Wrap Your Brand put the logo onto the.
But Wrap Your Brand, the company, they jumped on board because another vinyl company went completely, excuse the language, half-assed about what they were meant to do. Ended up telling a paying customer that they don't have time for the customer's request. When the customer had asked for specific colors, they went and did their own thing. And when the customer was a little upset about it, they said they don't have time for their customer. I'm not going to name and shame the company. I just thought it, wow. I jumped on the phone with my mentor and I said, do you know anyone that does rap? Because I need to get the branding on the car. I'm leaving tomorrow. You know, no, not tomorrow. It was 2 or 3 days later. Was it? I can't remember the specifics.
Yeah, I remember the day because it was a rush when that thing happened, because we spent so much time getting the logos ready, getting the banners ready, getting the shapes and everything ready so that it could get onto the car. And then Wrap Your Brand came in on number 99. Like literally, just stopped there, got there, they did it immediately.
That was hilarious though. So I'd phone my mentor and I'd ask him where can I get vinyl done, because they had done vinyl on a couple of machines. So I'd ask where he got it done so I can get my car wrapped, so I can get Beastie done, sorted. He mentioned Wrap Your Brand, so I went straight through. I phoned and I said, are you guys open? I was given a yes, and I rushed straight through. I was like, please, I need help. Lo and behold, I was ready to pay obviously for everything. He was asking what it's all for. We were talking about the story. We shared a lot of each other's story, and it was absolutely brilliant. All the vinyl was put on the car, and I was told, Craig, I don't want your money, China. Please push your message out there. Do it with everything that you've got. I was astonished. That took me completely off guard. I had the worst experience with one rap company, and now the next one's just completely just done this all for nothing. I'd asked, please, can we put your logo on the car? At first there was a no. That's how humble.
After all that.
There was no expectation, nothing in return. I was like, please, can we just put the smallest sticker in the world? That's all Wrap Your Brand wanted to put on my car.
Yeah, I mean, but it's once again the same message that those guys live for, that feels the same heart of the message that you're going for, and understanding that this is, yes, in some cases it's a personal journey because it's a dream and stuff like that, but the message behind the journey isn't personal. It's for everyone. And I think that is something that connected a lot of people to this project, as you would say as well, because technically it is a project, right?
Yeah, yeah. And it's certainly the first, but it's certainly not going to be the last. You already know it's coming.
Yeah, we'll probably give a little bit of a tidbit to the audience a little bit later of what is in the works.
We can't reveal it all though, just a little hint.
Yeah, I mean, we need to tease it a little bit, you know.
Yeah.
That's how you build relationships, right? You tease a little bit here, you tease a bit there.
Apparently the end thing is, what do they call clickbait, you know? We've got to get some clickbait, apparently.
Well,
no, look.
That runs the social media right now, apparently, and clickbaiting.
So what we got to do is, we've got so much plan.
So you got off from Jacaranda to KwaZulu-Natal, and you
that
ended
was
up in
after
KwaZulu-Natal.
after breaking the headlight. 3 o'clock in the morning, we managed to repair the headlight with one of the old ones I had. Bracket, there is no bracket on that headlight. It's staying on the car. Don't ask me how. I'm not keen on sharing that. It's an interesting story. Not now. Woke up 3 hours later, finished packing the car, and I met a Jacaranda children's home at, I think it was 7:30 in the morning to begin this journey.
And by then you already had a couple of videos up and running, but this was the first video that you started recording of the actual vlog of the trip.
Yeah.
And you started off with the exact message that you want to give off from Jacaranda.
And that is believe in yourself, trust in yourself, forgive yourself, love yourself, respect yourself. Don't give up on yourself. Not ever. If you truly care about something, you're passionate about something.
Yeah, and I think also, like, this is something people don't always realize, right? You already know you're going on this trip alone. You're alone in the car. Now you have to start it off as the first trip you're doing with this car, this long journey.
Yeah.
And you're starting it off with a proper message in front of Jacaranda's children's home, which is your beneficiary. I mean, that takes a lot of guts. That's a lot of guts right there to do all that things and then keep your composure.
Yeah, it's not easy. It's very overwhelming. It's not easy at all. You buckle down and you just got to remember what you're doing and what you're doing there, why you're doing it. I mean, there wasn't really too much time to get too emotional and all of that. I needed to be on the road. I mean, I'm supposed to be driving to Durban essentially. I mean, this is the second route. It wasn't the first, but we're going to Pietermaritzburg, or we're going to Durban, or Pietermaritzburg was not initially for the first day planned. My cousin Sarah lives in Pietermaritzburg with her husband and their 2 kids. So I called them up while I was driving through and I was like, yo, can I shoot through to say hi? I'm on my way. 3 hours sleep and I shot straight through to Pietermaritzburg. I was so excited. I was so energized.
And when you got there, how did you feel when you actually got to the first location?
I was
on this journey.
Firstly, very, very excited to see family. Right. I don't get to see Sarah. I don't get to see a lot of my family very often. So spending time there, that's just massive for me. Having Beastie there and having driven Beastie there, this being the first road trip, I was freaking out. I was ready. I was like, okay, I'm gonna stay a night in Pietermaritzburg, but okay, where am I gonna go next? Am I gonna go to Pietermaritzburg? I want to stay in Pietermaritzburg 2 days, 3 days. Do I want to go to Durban? Do I want to miss Durban? Do I want to go here? And then my mind started going absolutely haywire because now it's now started. It's now everything that has always been a dream has now become a reality. So I sat back, and it took me that evening to take a couple of deep breaths, ground myself, and say, hey, you've got a plan, stick to it.
Yeah, because generally a trip like this takes weeks to months to plan, and you did all this within what, a week, 2 weeks?
We had planned, we had already started planning the trip, I'd say about a month and a half before I started the journey. No, 2 months before I started the journey, sorry. So it was extremely quick planning. I wanted to do it in December, not for a December vacation, alright? I wanted to do it in December because I wanted to show off the country at its most beautiful, which is normally around December time. But not just as when it's nice summer and everything's vibrant and gorgeous and there's sun out and there's so many activities, but also when the entire country is celebrating Christmas, New Year's. The 2 holidays of the year, everyone looks so forward to celebrating with their families, their friends, their loved ones. I wanted to show the joy of the country and everyone in it, you know, everywhere I go.
And a lot of the people from, especially from central South Africa, are going to the coast because it's holiday.
Yeah,
It's holiday season, so it's packed full of people
having fun and enjoying themselves. A country that is happy amidst COVID-19, that has literally brought the world to its knees for how long?
Yeah, I mean, this was the first December that we could actually have the freedom to go places after COVID. So it's even extra special if you think about that, because we couldn't do it the previous year.
Everyone's overamped to get out of the house and out of the town, like, yo, holiday, finally, vacation, family time, you know? So that's what I really wanted to share. I wanted to share the country in its highest of spirits. I wanted to spend Christmas initially. I was really hoping to spend Christmas in Humansdorp, actually. That was a very difficult one for me. And then New Year's it has always been planned to spend in Cape Town. And Cape Town for me was always planned to be the longest and biggest stop. I had been to Cape Town only once before, and I fell in love with Cape Town. I fell in love with Cape Town. Like, wow. If I could have gone back sooner, trust me, I would have been there ages ago. And I've been there with my dream car in a place that I was at my happiest the first time I was there. And I met some amazing friends that I still have to this day. And the most randomest of times too. It was just, it's where I wanted to spend some time. Going to Cape Town, I met Shiraz from SABeemer. Stay tuned.
Yeah, I mean, you're even wearing SABeemer's cap right now.
Oh yes, full support.
Like,
full support. Please do me a favor. Everyone that is watching or listening to this, go and hit up SABeemer and say, Beastie says hi. Shiraz will definitely be stoked about that, yeah? Because what an amazing gent. What an amazing gent. But we'll get to that shortly.
Yeah, I mean, he's also part of the planning phase, you know, of future events.
Big future events that everyone can look forward to hearing more of. Let's just say Gauteng. Juran's ready to show the rest of South Africa what the BM scene can really vibe at.
Cape Town Stride. Cape Town Stride was an event.
Oh yes, Cape Town's. Oh wow, that was planned in 2 days. Thank you. That was planned in 2 days. I had really wanted to do a run in Cape Town, and I was struggling to find one or to establish one or I was struggling to get my bearings around. So I started speaking to I met so many people from E36 Society, which then started helping me put together other amazing people for the Cape Town stride.
Like Andre, for example, with his BMW.
Yeah, his BMW E36 was absolutely yo. So 328i convertible, absolutely beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Himself and Hugo, what a champion! Oh, that is such a fun bloke to be around.
Yeah, I mean, Hugo started to become the mascot of the channel. You know?
Oh no, he's such a fun gent to be around. And then you got Tariq, you've got Shiraz SABeemer, Tariq. He's involved with a BMW club in Cape Town as well. There are so many amazing people that started jumping on board, and next thing we know, we're sitting with, well, I think it was 15 to 17 cars, I think, within 2 days notice.
Yeah, I mean, 2 days notice.
This is
and
after
it's on the 2nd.
Yeah, this was on the 2nd of January as well, after everyone had just finished partying it up on New Year's. So Sunday morning, that's when everyone got together. We had 15, 17 cars, I think, something like that. If you guys go and check the YouTube channel, there's a video, Cape Town Stride. Go and have a look. It's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, the scenery there is absolutely beautiful.
Oh wow. And that's where I met SABeemer. Mr. Shiraz.
And once again, here's a relationship it's building and stuff. So Johannesburg, you guys are missing out. I mean, Cape Town got the first stride, so what's gonna happen from here on, hey?
We'll see. Definitely keen on bringing the stride to Joburg or Pretoria,
So
or Joburg,
we're talking about a Craig
Pretoria,
JK stride across the country.
CJK stride, Johannesburg, CJK stride, everywhere. Let's go. Let's make this a movement. Let's get people that are passionate about their cars, what brings smile and joy to them. I mean, if you're someone that gets in your car because you're having a bad day and you just need space and just time to think, but you can't find that zen place, you take a drive. I drive 100 Ks just to clear my mind. I don't need a set direction. I just go. I clear my mind in the car I've dreamt about having for 12 years. And it works for me every single time. I get back home and I'm chill.
Yeah, and I mean, behind this thing, the reason why it started as well is because of this message. There's a dream, there's a message, and you can do it for a greater cause as well, right?
Bring people
it's not
together,
just, it's not just a bunch of people in cars driving a route. It's people with the same love, same passion, same idea, different cars, different faces, but they all have the same idea and the same love for this passion that they have for
the car community. Yeah, for the car community. It's not just for the mechanical marvels that they drive. It's not just about the cars, but it's also about the people. I mean, look, your car can take you everywhere, right? People make that experience a memory bigger than just something had alone. It completes that. It tells a story, a bigger story, a more interesting story with a different aspect, a different side. And that's the beauty of it. We all love cars. We love the fact that we'd rather go and spend. By the way, car people, I know your pain. It's not cheap, yo. Don't ever think you don't have time to go and get drunk at a bar. Really, that's a waste of money. Seriously, just put that in your car. In fact, if you are a true car guy, there are days where you choose 2-minute noodles over a pizza. Easy.
Yeah, that's a difficult decision.
No,
that's a very difficult. I mean, pizza. We're talking about pizza here. So
for Beastie, I'd even just do like a sandwich. That's my passion.
Yeah, just leave out the ham. Just have the cheese, just so that there's something.
Just 2 toasted slices of bread, China. No, but I mean, look, it's a beautiful passion to have, because it brings you into a community where everyone's also conversing in conversation about their passions, their dreams, and with their vehicles, and who's done what, who's changed what, who's experienced what issue, and who can help with resolving of a problem that no one else can figure out, because they sat there for weeks and weeks and months on end trying to research how to repair it. It's a community. It's a family. It's the same with the motorcycle community. It's the same with your golf community. It's the same with any sporting community or gathering, or people that are passionate about that equal thing. They share that passion, they share that drive, they share that enjoyment for it, and so you make memories, you make friends, you make relationships that last a lifetime. And that for me was exactly what's happened.
All right. So when you hit Cape Town, 5 top experiences when you hit in Cape Town.
Just in Cape Town.
Just in Cape Town for now.
Top 5 experiences. Franschhoek Pass. Most definitely. That was, I think, one of the most amazing drives I've had. Cape Legalas. That was spur of the moment. I woke up when it was the day after Christmas. No channel. I want to go to Cape Legalas. I wanted to go to the most southern point of Africa, and I'm doing it this morning. I left at 9 o'clock. Got there. I had an amazing afternoon. I met amazing people. I took some amazing photos. I took Beastie off-roading. That hurt my heart, but she took it like a true champ. Got some really nice photos to show for it as well. So and then went all the way back through to Cape Town. Now, I wanted to spend a night in Cape Legalas. For everyone that knows, Cape Legalas over December, if you can find an open B&B, an open backpackers bunk, you are very fortunate. And I didn't want to stay although there were towns surrounding and nearby, there were nothing available. So I drove all the way back to Cape Town.
Yeah, because all the people here from Central South Africa went to go holiday there,
Yeah.
you know. So they probably book in advance.
Oh, that was funny. That was so funny. So Cape Legalas, that was absolutely amazing. I did another pass with Mr. Ivan. I went to Houtbaai. If you guys check the video out on my YouTube channel of the Houtbaai travels, you'll know exactly what pass I'm referring to. That was amazing. Oh, I love that. Ivan, Megan, and you'll see I call Megan's mom. Those three, we met them in Houtbaai. We thought we were all gonna just make missions together, 2 cars, but travel kind of same spots. Now Ivan, what a champ. Another amazing friend that put me up for 2 weeks? 2.5 weeks that I've been in Cape Town. Absolutely. I couldn't be more grateful. And I've said it to him as well. And he's such a humble man. He says, that's all I want. Thank you. I just thank you. You don't need to admit. Thank you. So Cape Legalas, Franschhoek Pass, Cape Legalas, Houtbaai. I'm gonna share one I did not enjoy entirely, but after looking back to it, I'm gonna highlight it as top 5. And that's when myself and Mr. Hugo drove through to Langebaan. I did not like that. I loved the drive all the way up from Cape Town to Bloem, and there's a lot of just straight. But I was prepared for that, you see. There's a lot of garages in between, you see. So if you're running out of water, you can stop and you can get a water. If you're feeling peckish, you can stop and get something. I didn't really do much research, and I never really asked the right questions when we decided, myself and Hugo, that we're going to go through to Langebaan. I just obviously assumed that don't ever assume. I assumed that there were going to be garages on the side of the road. I didn't know it was going to be just straight for like 53Ks. And when I mean straight, I mean straight. No turn. No turn. Straight. You go up and down the hills and you just go straight. There's nothing to look at, left or right. No trees. It's just grass, hills, and straight. There's no garages in between. There's nothing really in between for 53Ks. We didn't pack water. We didn't stop and get anything to snack on, eat. We had breakfast before we left, before we got onto that trip, but we didn't have nothing to sustain those 53Ks. Funny thing is, when if you're driving a mountainy road, all those turns and so forth for like 53Ks, it'll take you, let's say, an hour, 2 hours, however long, and you'll enjoy every second of it. Why? Because there's always changing scenery. There's always a change in movement. I was thirsty.
So you're basically going like a boat up and down. So did he get seasick?
No, I would have. Honestly, I do feel I would have might have enjoyed it a lot more had I been better prepared for it. What got to me is sugar levels started dropping because there was no snacks. Nothing to drink. 53Ks. Thirsty as ever.
Yeah. So you say you didn't enjoy it at the time, but looking back,
it was actually so much worth it.
What made it that way?
The lesson. Preparation is key to success. Preparation is key to anything that you're going to enjoy your life. If you are unprepared, then chances are you might not enjoy it. I actually had a really good time when we got into Langebaan. I met up with another amazing friend. One of Hugo's friends I was introduced to, amazing guy. Actually had a really amazing afternoon there. The drive back was phenomenal. The drive there wasn't so much fun. Why?
Yeah, because now you have the stags.
I was unprepared for the drive there because I didn't do my due diligence. I didn't ask the right questions. Every negative experience in your life is only a lesson. You are winning or you're learning. The only way you lose is if you stop looking for the lesson in the trialing time.
Yeah, and the rest of the trip? Your enjoyable moments on the rest of the trip?
Most enjoyable moments in the entire trip, man. Mams and Toti. No, wait. Shark Marine World. Actually, I had an amazing time with family. That for me, it is so important. Mams and Toti, there was a garage in the Mams and Toti. I did post on my Instagram about it. Absolutely phenomenal place. I've never seen a garage so tidy and so well presented before. It was completely new to me. I was like, wait, what? I went there, I think maybe 5 times in the 2 days that I was there. I was there for 2-3 days, I think. And I love that garage. I wouldn't stop going there. They had amazing coffee. They had really good food. They were always open.
Yeah, and I mean, that's not something people generally say, because the garage is just something that you can take a quick pit stop at, right? You're on your way somewhere else, so it's not something you really think about. You go there, you stop, you pour in the fuel, you check.
Oh no, this wasn't just that. It was literally the entire setup of it. It was it was so clean, so tidy. The presentation, the lighting, how it was amazing. Like it's a garage, something as simple as a garage. A garage is not just simple. If you can advertise and you can structure your business that so many people utilize like that, oh wow.
Yeah, I mean, not you'd go talk about a garage like that.
You'd go on it. You know what? I'd take someone on a date to that garage. Do you know why? It is that good. It's straight up that good.
You heard it here first. First date with Craig JK is at a garage.
At a garage. No, but what's brilliant about it is it's literally where it's situated. It's also, they've got a balcony that you can literally just sit on and have a meal at. But the balcony, you don't see the garage. You don't even know you're at the garage. You're looking at the ocean. How it's, I can't. It is. You've got to see it for yourself. We'll post it. We'll add a link, or we'll add a map icon. I'll get the name. We'll put it up. I loved it. That's definitely one of my highlights. Definitely a garage. Simple as that. That was one of my highlights. Then,
the bungee jumping trip.
Bungee jumping trip,
yeah,
yes.
I think that one was also probably one of. I think that's, according to what I'm seeing, one of your top picks of the entire trip.
Yeah. Facing fears. I'm terrified of heights. I don't like heights. But I don't, it can be a nice fluffy pillow down at the bottom there. It's fine. You jump. I don't want to. I decided I am alive today, I'm alive now. I'm going past Blowgrounds. I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, and I mean, this was right after the bad news that you had with family in that area, right?
Yeah, so I'm not too keen on diving into that because it's naming shaming, and there's not enough.
And I mean, it's a little
backstory.
bit too personal and too tight to the chest. But I mean, that did happen on this road, and then right after that, it's like
same day. No, it wasn't the same day. It was the next day.
Yeah.
The next day, I decided, you know what? I'm done trying to please the world. I'm in this for myself, and I reminded myself that I said I'm here to be happy. So let me be happy. What is restricting me from being happy? What are my fears? And how can I face them? I've always wanted to go to Blowgrounds. I've not always wanted to jump. I've just wanted to go there. I decided I'm jumping. My first jump, oh wow. I was terrified. It was amazing. Absolutely amazing. So then I decided to jump again.
So the next question from my end is what was worse? The fear going on this trip or the actual jump?
Ooh. I've not feared the trip. I've just been very, the entire trip itself, you can't control the outcome of anything and everything, right? You can plan and you can do your due diligence, but everyone knows things happen, things change. I can see where I'm jumping off that bridge. I can see the ground. Anything's to happen, I'm seeing where I'm going. So therefore, I'm more afraid to jump. Why? Because I can see what can happen. With the trip, I've chosen to keep such a positive mindset about everything because positivity attracts positivity. I know in my heart what I'm doing. I'm not just happy with. I couldn't be more proud of myself. And that's what matters. You got to be proud of yourself. You got to do things for yourself. You got to remember that you are also important enough to put first. So, I didn't want to be scared of heights anymore. Jumped off Blowgrounds twice. I'm going back, by the way.
Yeah, that was your leap of faith.
I want to do 3 jumps next. So, the 3 jumps... I chickened out. My second jump, I chickened out. What happened was, I was meant to jump backwards on my second jump. And I said, not a chance. I'm looking. I've jumped already. Yes, fine. I know it's safe. I can see that. I've experienced that. I was more nervous my second jump than I was my first jump. That's the weirdest thing. You know what to expect. You know you're gonna be fine, but yet you're almost double, triple more scared or nervous your second jump than you are your first.
Because you kind of have that expectation. You know,
because you already know what's gonna happen, but when you've not experienced it and you don't know what's gonna happen, you don't know what to fear. So I chose not to fear heights anymore. I'm going back. I want to do 3 jumps. I want to jump like I did for first 2 jumps. My second jump, I want to jump backwards, and then the third jump, they call this what, a running man. They harness you on your back. They take the barrier ropes off on the sides, and you can run and jump right off the edge. You don't stand still and jump forward or jump backwards. You run and jump off the edge. Let me tell you something. I am absolutely terrified of the idea, but I'm so keen to do it.
Well, go for it. Next time you're there.
Oh, yeah.
We're definitely gonna have a couple of footage of that one.
Most.
Right?
Oh yes.
Right.
Oh yes.
Right? Yeah.
And then skydiving. I want to do skydiving.
Yeah, don't ask me to do that, because if I'm gonna have to do that, I'm gonna have to wear my brown pants that day.
Do you know what's weird though? Everyone that's been bungee jumping and skydiving say that skydiving's not as scary as bungee jumping.
Well, to be honest, I can kind of review that, because I think it's a little bit higher up.
You're a lot higher up. So you obviously come to I don't know, this is, I've not been, but how it is explained to me, you come to the earth at a certain pace, and yes, earth gets bigger, ground gets bigger, but you chute opens and you can feel yourself slow down, so you come nice and gently back down, right? Bungee jumping, you see the ground and you know that there's a rope attached to your feet, and China, you just hope that rope ain't snap, because if that rope snaps, what if it's the wrong one? What if you extend too far?
So you've left Cape Town, you came to Bloemfontein, we're doing the video here, and now you're heading back to Johannesburg. Do you have kind of like a somber feeling, like that sad feeling about this journey is kind of coming to an end?
No. I'm extremely happy with everything that I've experienced. If I could do more, if I could have done more on the trip, most certainly I would have done so much more. I would have loved to have stayed longer in more places that I had wanted to. All the way from Durban all the way down the coast. Hopefully for 2-3 days, let's experience the little towns and all the little activities there is to do. Maybe there's something fun that we can promote and help others get wind of, and let them enjoy that as well. So I would have loved to do so much more, but this trip was always meant to be mainly just a drive. I was keen on a long drive with Beastie, and to show that 750,000 kilometers can still do an entire coastal trip, can still do 10,000 Ks. And that's what's important, right? So I wanted to prove that fact. Everyone was looking at the car's mileage going, oh, you crazy for buying it like that, that's impossible. Oh, it's gonna break. I did more than 10,000 Ks actually in a month. A lot more than, yeah, it's now 11,000 Ks in a month.
And you're still adding to that clock.
I'm still adding to the clock now.
And it's also one of the mile points that you want to hit is getting that mileage up to 1 million.
There is a goal to get it up to 1 million. There is a goal to get it up to 1 million. There might be a little bit of a change.
Oh, so this is not the final end.
No.
Of Beastie and a trip.
Without giving anything away, why don't you hit up my YouTube channel, my Instagram, my Facebook page, and we'll keep you up to date with what's coming to everyone, really. I wouldn't say really soon, but it's soon. Because if anyone thought that 11,000 kilometers just down the coast of Africa was a lot, and all that, please take note, yes, it is not 11,000 kilometers directly from Centurion to Pietermaritzburg and the round trip. Also understand that I did a lot of exploring, a lot of driving, a lot of ups and downs. I mean, Franschhoek Pass, the Pass by Houtbaai, Langebaan, Cape Legalas. I mean, there was so much going on. I've been exploring like you won't believe, non-stop in my car.
Yeah, and I mean all those, even the little distances that you do just for mainly personal stuff as well, like going to a shop and stuff like that.
It all
That
adds
also
up.
adds up.
Yeah, you're still utilizing, you're still driving, you're still going somewhere, so you're still turning that engine on and you're still putting those wheels on the
Yeah,
road.
and I mean it's so interesting to make a vlog of how you're gonna go get your toiletries at a spa, you know?
I don't know. I mean, we could make it interesting. I'll just shout out and tell everyone they don't have the flavored condoms that everyone else wants. What do I
Oh
do?
yeah, I mean that's informative, right? That's informative commentary, right?
You
Because
say that.
you're
You say that one of my you won't know Johan. Honestly, I really hope that I get to introduce you to him. We're standing in Pick and Pay Hyper the one day, and he gets quite embarrassed and just out of random. I don't really care what everyone thinks of me in the sense of like I like making people laugh and smile. So if I do something quirky, loud, or just abnormal and get someone smiling, that I've made someone's day, and that makes me happy. So walking down an aisle, and I happened to see like there's two people that were just having an absolutely terrible day. So my Johan's he's standing at the end of the aisle, and he was busy walking towards me, and it was the aisle where you can get all the condoms and all of this. So I shout up at Johan. I was like, Johan, they don't have the extra small ribbed ones. What do I do? Oh wow. Have you ever seen someone go red in the face, immediately just stop dead still and not move for a good solid at 30 seconds, not know what to say, and then from red to a pale white? I could not stop laughing because everyone looked at him. Everyone. And he just stood there, but I hosed myself. It's the funniest thing ever. So, where were we? I was starting to digress there. Where were we?
Yeah, so there definitely is a plan. A tidbit of information will come through. So guys, really, you check out the channel. Go to the Facebook. Keep an eye out on the Facebook. The information will drop as the information comes through.
Oh yes.
And
you
there's
guys
a
already
lot of
know.
other plans as well coming through. Like there's definitely going to be another Stride event. We know that. The location is probably going to be Johannesburg.
No, just remember, it's not just Johannesburg. I want to bring Gauteng together.
Yeah, but I mean, the next location for something like that would probably
around Johannesburg, Pretoria, the start location, the end location. Those will come. Don't worry.
Do you guys already have kind of an idea of the route for this, something like that?
I've got a couple of routes in mind, but I want to have a look at a couple of things first. I do want to get something really special on the go for everyone that does come. So we'll have to wait and see. That's all I can say.
Well, yeah, guys, there you have it. Like, subscribe, and please do comment.
Oh yeah, please.
We have a lot of people starting to comment on the channel right now. We enjoy the input. We're constantly watching for the input and stuff like that. So,
I must say,
yeah.
I have been a little slow on the responses to everyone's comments on the videos and that. Please just do understand. Between all the up and all the down, all the traveling and all the activities and that, I've had to play a little bit of catch up and get used to obviously now engaging on more social media platforms, and I'm still trying to get used to Instagram, never mind TikTok and Facebook and YouTube, and there's so many. So,
yeah, and I mean the Twitter account is still soon coming.
Because
eventually we're gonna have to get that, because it's, especially with stuff coming up forward, that might be a thing for information that needs to be popping up.
So just another thing that I need to do in order to stay on my phone longer during the day when I want to be driving. But it's alright. I love sharing everything with you guys anyway. So that's all good.
Yeah, so guys, go to Craig JK YouTube channel. give him some love, some support, and all of that. And also with everybody that has jumped on board with the entire project, with ProjectBeastie and the vlog and everything, go show them love and support as well, because these guys are all of them in the same with the same message.
Let's go through
the same thing.
Let's go through it. We've got Retro House, CV Production Studio. We've got Jacaranda Children's Home. We've got Grit Detailing. That's Grit Gilson and Son Detailing. Wrap Your Brand. Yeah. There's also TDC Performance Tuning. Wow, that is another highlight. There's my 5th highlight. We were discussing that earlier. There's my top 5 highlights. Seeing Beastie push out the same numbers as a brand new 328i, and she's got 750,000 Ks on the clock. Are you serious? What? And she is that quick. She is that quick. Oh, I got laughed at. I've posted a video of her of Beastie, a nice private, secure environment, going a really good speed. I was like, yeah, no, it's photoshopped. It's alright, Joe. Come hook up with me. I'll take you for a ride. We'll do it together.
Yeah, I mean, this guy has no issue dropping anybody into his car, and
let's go. I love driving. I love sharing that experience for the comfort, the reliability, how much fun it is to drive Beastie.
Yeah, I mean, there was this one video that we did that you took the owner of a car wash out for a spin.
Oh yeah.
He didn't want to be on the video, which everybody can respect and everything. But I mean, being able to do that with people, to share not only the message but also the car.
You should have seen his facial expression. Oh, that was priceless. It's honestly it was one of those moments like I really had hoped I could have got it on camera for everyone to experience with me, because his entire face just lit up and he was astonished. It's like, no, it's not possible. Not possible. The motor's not been rebuilt. The only thing that has been done in the motor is preemptive oil rings, piston rings, head gasket, and that was done at 430,000 Ks. That's the only time the motor's been opened up. I'm sitting on 761,000 kilometers. Everyone's getting rid of their cars at what? 300-400. Oh yes, the more coming. There is more coming up. There's so many more kilometers coming.
Getting to that million number.
Oh, getting to that million number, there might be a possible shift. Maybe not. There might be something even... No. You see, the thing is, I actually do want to hit that million. I really do. But I've got something absolutely amazing lined up for the future. And I feel that this just might be a really good way to show how amazingly stable and reliable a high mileage car can really be if it's taken care of the right way. If you actually take care of your vehicle, you maintain it, you do all of the little leaks when they come and they arise, and you sort it all out. You don't... I beat on Beastie, don't joke. She's not a lazy driver. She's not a lazy girl. She holds out because she's taken care of. Every time something comes up and it needs to be sorted, it is done. There isn't wait. I've had to wait for it's a release bearing in the gearbox, because for me to now go and have the gearbox pulled out of the car, release bearing replaced in Cape Town while it's under warranty in Gauteng, it's gonna be money I can't really afford to lose, otherwise I wouldn't be able to get back to Gauteng. The reality of it is, I've covered everything myself. I haven't asked for I haven't said handout. I've said I'm committing to this because it's something I believe in. It's something that's important to me, and it's something I'd love to share with everyone else.
All right, and there you have it, guys. So, show some support, like, comment, subscribe, put on those bell notifications. And also, all the links to all the people that have been part of this project is down in the description.
Please check them all out. Go
out.
and give them some love. Go and give them some love. Go and give them a shout out. Go and say thank you. Say Craig JK sent us. Yeah.
And especially for Jacaranda's Children's Home.
Please.
Because this is kind of where the message are going to for these kids. Because, like, yeah, orphaned children. And
can I touch on that quickly? Can I touch on that quickly?
Go for it.
The next Elon Musk, the next Albert Einstein, the next Gandhi, the next big name to or save humanity, cure another disease that we face in the future, or bring something that we actually need, is sitting in an orphanage or sitting on the side of the road, not getting the opportunity at an education or getting the opportunity to follow their heart and their dreams. Born into a world not having asked to be, not having asked to be at all, and then just thrown aside. I don't find that right at all.
Yeah, and I mean, let's be honest, most of these children are not, especially here in South Africa, they're not war orphans. They're children that come out of horrific homes that were taken away by the justice system of South Africa for their safety.
I'm gonna share just a little bit. I'm not gonna go dive in at all. I would have loved to start at Jacaranda Children's Home with the support of all the kids as well. One thing that was mentioned to me, and the reason why we didn't do it that way was, and this broke me. This broke me. Everyone is afraid of sharing their identities online because of the abusive homes that they got taken out of, and how dangerous those parents are or those guardians are to an innocent child. We're supposed to be uplifting. We're supposed to be instilling positivity. We're supposed to be helping the next generation take us into their next generation.
Because they're 100% the future of this country.
And what are we doing with that future? And that is why Jacaranda Children's Home is so important to me. Because our children are our futures. We need to give our future a better chance. So if there's one thing that I know we can do for our futures, is that we invest in our futures.
Yeah, so guys, even if you don't have something to donate to these guys at all, go check them out. They do run projects throughout the year. They have so many things going on through the year.
They do the Lichi Fairs, and they do so many little festivals and markets, and there are so many activities going on. They're involved in so many different environments to try and help bring in support for the kids. So if you're interested in a market, or maybe you're interested in something completely different, there's something for everyone. Maybe different times of the year, which makes it perfect. Please go give it a check out. Go and show some support. Go show some love. Just remember, our youth are our futures. If you want a future that's worth lasting, invest in your future. Invest in your youth. Invest in the child that's dreaming of being an astronaut, or dreaming of curing a disease that we might feel is impossible now, but should that child follow their passion and be given the opportunities that they so crave, who's to say that child can't be an adult that brings a cure to the disease that we never knew would ever come?
Endless possibility, endless potential.
And it's all believing and giving back child doesn't choose how they get brought up. A child doesn't choose any of their circumstances. Their guardians, their parents, and the people around them, they choose that. If you're an adult, if you're a mature teenager or a teenager, okay, if you understand right from wrong, influence the youth to rather be doing right, calm, good, than violent and aggression and hate and all of that. That's what's important, yeah. So I'm just gonna say this. I would like to thank everyone that's been a part of the journey from the start, when this was still a conversation, when this was still an idea. Everyone that helped motivate, to help bring it all to a reality. I want to thank every single person I met along the journey as well for helping inspire me in a very unique way individually, because I have learned so much from all the unique individuals I've met along this journey. I've also learned a lot about myself. I've also learned how to overcome so much more. If I can leave a message, I think something that will resonate with everyone. You can never change anything from your past, and you can never foresee anything in your future. Have a goal and set that goal higher to what you could ever imagine yourself achieving, and don't ever stop aiming, and don't ever stop fighting for that goal. Because if you are making mistakes, then you are learning. And if you are learning, you are achieving. Remember to try and be more positive, because positivity attracts positive. You want to be happy at the end of the day. You don't want to be walking around upset at everyone and everything. Don't try and be so upset at what you cannot control. Rather focus on your actions in the present and in the now, and no more. For now, I just want to say have an amazing evening. I love you all, and thank you for the memories. It's been absolutely brilliant, and it'll come again soon. Peace.